In order to surprise my wife, I secretly went to her concert. But I bumped into her backstage and saw her passionately entwined with a famous actor in the lounge. Liam laughed badly. Who do you prefer, me or that useless man at your home? Song Sophie kissed him coquettishly. He is not qualified to compare with you. Through the hidden door of the room, I tore the copy of her coveted record deal to shreds in my hands. Point 1. It was 2 in the morning when Song Sophie got home. She walked into the bedroom smelling of alcohol, and I had already laid down to rest. Sophie pouted. Hubby, I drank too much at the victory party. I have a headache. In the past, no matter how late she came home, I would wait for her and cook her a bowl of detox smoothie, but this time, I didn't even open my eyes. Didn't even open. Sophie thought I was asleep, and gave a disgruntled grunt on the side of the bed before taking her pajamas to the bathroom. Her cell phone on the pillow vibrated. A message from Liam popped up on the screen. Baby, it's only been a few minutes apart and I miss you. Song Sophie got out of the shower and lightly laid down next to me. Her back was turned to me, and her cell phone screen stayed on. From time to time, her uncontrollable low laughter rang in my ears. I stayed up all night. Early the next morning, I was in the pile of changing clothes in the bathroom, a glance at her black lace panties with unspeakable traces. Out of the blue, Sophie Song came up behind me and snatched the panties away in a panic. This is a little dirty, I'll just wash it myself. She didn't know that when flustered, her eyes would blink fast. I didn't tear her down, but gave a faint "oh." Not long after, she had her assistant bring in a large bag of fresh ingredients. Sophie said she was taking the day off and would make me lunch herself. She was busy in the kitchen all morning, and the table was gradually filled with my favorite dishes. This cozy picture contrasted sharply with the gloom in my heart. If I hadn't witnessed her and Liam cheating on me yesterday, I wouldn't have believed that Song Sophie, who had sworn to love me forever, would have given me cheated on me 6 months after the wedding. Point 2. After just 2 bites of the dishes, Song Sophie hesitantly spoke up. Hubby, tomorrow is my birthday. I put down my chopsticks. Then what? I've asked the company artists to come to the house for a party to celebrate my birthday. I understood her words. I'll recuse myself. Because of her profession, we opted for a secret marriage, except for a few executives from the entertainment company. Almost no one knew about her married status. Getting a satisfactory answer, Sophie Song was visibly relieved. Just as she was about to say something, her cell phone rang. Seeing the incoming call, she glanced at me sheepishly and took her phone to the balcony. Not a moment later she came back with an apologetic face. Hubby, I forgot that I have an important announcement today. I nodded. Go ahead. After Song Sophie left, I threw all the barely touched dishes from that table into the trash. When I first met Song Sophie, she was still a small netizen who played and sang live on the street. I was attracted by her face and voice, and took the initiative to ask for her contact information. Soon we were in a relationship. Sophie Song is hardworking enough, ambitious and strong. After knowing her dream, I recommended her to join a popular talent show. I used my connections and planned carefully to make her stand out overnight and become a rising star in the limelight. On a certain date, I joked, now that you're popular, there must be a lot of guys pursuing you. But she looked at me with affection. You're the only one I like. Sophie's New Year's wish last year was to marry me. I was so moved that I ignored my family's objections and took her to the courthouse that day to get a license. In order to take better care of Sophie, I quit my job and willingly became a house husband. Only I didn't expect that my trust and dedication, in exchange for her hurt and betrayal. Point 3. On Sophie's birthday, I left the house early. I sat in the library all day, and I didn't go home until the library closed. The dim light filtered through the apartment windows, guessing that Song Sophie's birthday party was already over. Since I had forgotten my keys, I rang the doorbell. Song Sophie opened the door, and when she saw it was me, her face suddenly changed. She lowered her voice and said unhappily, "Didn't I send a message for you to come back later? My cell phone had run out of battery and automatically shut off in the afternoon." At this time, a man's voice came from the bathroom. "Sophie, who is it?" "Liam." Song Sophie panicked and responded, "Nothing. Recycling collector." After saying that, she made a wink at me and closed the door with force. Along with it was slammed shut the last vestiges of my attachment to Song Sophie. I sat on the stone bench in the neighborhood for a long time, so long that my legs were numb. Before I saw Liam come out of the condo building wrapped tightly and get into a BMW. Heh, what birthday celebration party? It turns out to be a party for the two of them. When Sophie Song found me, I was dozing on the stone table. She brought a few points of shame. "Husband, just now that situation. I can only lie. You sympathize with me." I ignored her and went upstairs. Song Sophie is still chattering behind me. Luckily, I just got wise in a hurry. "You also know that I am now in the rising period of my career. In case I am raked out as married, it will be over." I suddenly remembered that not long after we got married, we were almost photographed by paparazzi on our way home in company. At that time, I was shocked. Luckily it wasn't discovered. Otherwise your star would have been ruined. Sophie Song, however, looked unconcerned. "Exposure is exposure. I can't wait for the whole world to know that you are my husband." It turns out that a person's change of heart can be so quick. Point 4. The room was a mess. Trash was everywhere. Cake cream was smeared everywhere. And even on the dining table there were 2 leftover steaks. Looks like the two of them had a good time today. In the bathroom, body wash mixed with an odor that any adult would understand lingered in the humid air. I subconsciously looked toward the trash can. As expected, there was a used condom lying in the paper bowl. And Song Sophie never noticed my difference. She even asked in a petulant tone, "Hubby, where's my birthday present?" Birthday present. I did prepare a nice birthday gift for her some time ago. It was the record deal she had been dreaming of. The entertainment company was only going to focus on training one artist in the second half of the year, and this contract was the key to a sure win. But this valuable birthday gift had already been torn up by me backstage on the night of her concert. Seeing that I didn't show, Song Sophie looked disappointed. "Forgot. You've been so unattractive to me these past 2 days, ugh." Looking at her sad expression, my mind drifted back to the happiness and fun we used to have. There was a slight wavering in my heart. Which artists came to the house today? If she voluntarily admitted, good friends were invited. She read out a long list of artists' names without blushing. Except for Liam. At this moment, my last bit of fantasy about her was shattered. At this moment, my last bit of fantasy about her was shattered. I took out a document from the nightstand and handed it to her. Sophie Song's eyes lit up. "Wow, you said you didn't prepare a gift, so you want to give me a surprise." I laughed lightly. If she thinks this is a birthday gift, it's not a bad idea. Sure enough, when Song Sophie read the words on the document, her smile froze on her face. "Gaia, what do you mean by this?" 5. The divorce agreement, which was drawn up yesterday afternoon. I, as a person, can accompany my lover to suffer, can pay for my lover, but I can't tolerate my lover's unfaithfulness. The day before yesterday, I went to the concert and backstage. Guess what I saw at the door of your lounge? At those words, Song Sophie's face went white, and her hand holding the divorce papers trembled slightly. I suddenly felt that she shouldn't be a singer. An actress might be more suitable for her. Goo also. "Listen to me explain," she said anxiously. "Liam is just my guest. We that is act for the cameras. ACT for the cameras. I laughed and kicked that trash can in the bathroom in front of her. This is also ACT for the cameras. If I didn't mind the dirtiness, I would have even wanted to fling that condom in her face. Song Sophie saw what was in the trash can and what little blood was left on her face faded away. Sign if the contents are okay, then make an appointment to go to the courthouse and get the paperwork done. I couldn't stay in this filthy place for a moment. Walking to the door, I paused in my tracks. I turned around and met Song Sophie's eyes that were full of promise with a hint of begging. I tugged at the corner of my mouth. I forgot to say, "Happy birthday." I got a room at the hotel, and after charging my phone, I saw that Song Sophie had sent me a string of messages. The content was mostly sophomoric and confessional. She said that she and Liam were just hype, and that she was just trying to get a spot as the company's top artist in the fall through Liam. She said that I was the only one she loved and that she never wanted to divorce me and would never agree to do so. She called me and I hung up and blacked out all her contacts. On the weekend, I was invited to an awards show and coincidentally ran into Liam in the banquet hall, but he called out to me as I walked past him. It was too dark that night. I didn't see you clearly. Sophie said you were average looking, but I think you're tall and handsome. You're quite nice. Turns out he saw me the night of Song Sophie's birthday. He has always known my existence. Liam gazed contemptuous. Even if the look is okay, but it is just an ordinary person. Cannot compare to me. A cold hair. I advise you to be a little self-aware. Don't rely on Sophie. Ruined her future. At this time, Song Sophie also came. Seeing me, the expression on her face changed. 6 Liam intimately attached to Song Sophie's ear and reminded. Soph. He ran here. It can't be that he's here to take revenge on you and wants to expose your relationship, right? Song Sophie's face turned ugly as soon as she heard that. She lowered her voice and urged. Goo also. You go back first. We'll talk about what's going on at home. Seeing that I didn't move, Song Sophie became anxious. Goo also. I'll promise you whatever you want. You mustn't make a scene. On an occasion like today, you'll ruin me. A few days ago, she swore an oath of faith to me in WeChat. Now it regards me as a virus, and can't wait to kick away. Song Sophie's face. It's really disgusting. I pushed the boat smoothly. Good. You agree to divorce. I will not make trouble. When Song Sophie hesitated, she saw a group of media reporters clustered with entertainment company executives coming this way, and she panicked. Busy urging. Okay. I agree. You hurry. I laughed and took a step, but it was towards the crowd. Song Sophie's face turned green with fear and rushed over to try to forcefully pull me away. Our argument attracted everyone's attention, and Song Sophie made the first move, rushing at those people. This is one of my fans, mixing into the banquet and wanting to make trouble. I was about to call security to drive him away. Saying that, she really beckoned for security. Suddenly, an actress dressed in fancy clothes and stepping on diamond high heels walked up to me. Eyes contemptuously looking at Song Sophie. Song Sophie, you're delusional, aren't you? Don't you know who he is? 7 Everyone present focused their eyes on me. The one who spoke on my behalf was my neighbor's childhood friend who grew up with me, Lu Shuyao. It was a figure in the entertainment industry who could turn stones into gold. She made her debut at the age of 16, and was once a top star in the entertainment industry. But at the height of her popularity, she retired to the background and transformed into a hot and famous music producer. As long as the newcomers that she had helped with her advice, there was no one who was unsuccessful. Just as everyone was wondering about my identity, Liam came up and respectfully asked Lu Shuyao, MS. Lu, do you know this man? I signaled Lu Shuyao with my eyes to keep her mouth shut. Lu Shuyao glanced at me and said in a faint voice, he is the one I invited to the ceremony. Song Sophie looked at me with an odd expression. but was surrounded by reporters. She awkwardly explained, "Sorry. It was me who misunderstood." Lu Shuyao took advantage of the chaos and pulled me to the backstage lounge. Only then did she close the door. She questioned me with red eyes. "Gu also. I've only been abroad for 1 year to further my studies. And you've even taken the license with another girl without a word." It seems that my father had already told her about me secretly getting a license. I was embarrassed. Although Lu Shuyao is still 2 years younger than me, but she has always been the other family's child according to her parents. She grew up smart, whether it's study or work or very good, often used by her father and her comparison, and I feel a lot of pressure with her. I was trying to curry favor and sell my smile, knowing that I was at a disadvantage. After seeing Song Sophie's person, I regretted my impulsiveness all the time. "Just don't lecture me. I've already decided to get a divorce." Upon hearing this, Lu Shuyao's face then slightly improved, but her voice was still as cold as ice. "Do you need help?" "No. I can handle it myself." In order to not continue to be lectured, I quickly reminded Lu Shuyao, "Hurry up and go out. Aren't you the guest of honor? Don't miss the time because of me." Lu Shuyao still didn't lose her temper. "They'll settle the score with you when the awards are over." I couldn't help but shiver. At the awards ceremony, Song Sophie won the Best Newcomer award as expected. As soon as the ceremony ended, she was dragged by Liam to celebrate. I took advantage of Lu Shuyao's lack of attention and slipped away myself. Thinking that Song Sophie didn't know where she was celebrating her award at the moment, I went back home, intending to pack up some clothes and items to take with me. I didn't expect that when I entered the door on the front foot, Song Sophie came back on the back foot as well. Seeing me, she was full of surprise. "Hubby, you're willing to come home. You've forgiven me, right?" As she said that, she rushed over to hug me, but I avoided it in disgust. "Song Sophie, you didn't forget what you said in the banquet hall today, did you?" I reminded. "I didn't reveal our relationship in front of the media and you promised to divorce me." Song Sophie looked incredulous. "Hubby, as you can see, I won the Best Newcomer award and have a bright future. I won't treat you badly in the future. Why do you still want to gamble and have a change of heart with me?" "Gambling. A fight." I pulled up the corner of my mouth and let out a sneer. "Song Sophie, you're drunk, aren't you?" Song Sophie pulled my hand. "Liam and I are really just using each other. We each get what we need. That's how this circle is. You don't know that." Her righteous look really turned my stomach. The water in the entertainment industry is not clear. This I know. When I first brought her into this circle, I had warned her. But what did she tell me at the time? She said she didn't care about flattery and flatteries. She wants to rely on her own strength and hard work to make a name for herself in the entertainment industry. It was this indomitable, confident, and beautiful woman that made my heart fall quickly. I shook off her hand fiercely. "Song Sophie, you were right about one thing that night. You said I was a recollecting collector. I did collect your broken ass. 9 didn't think that overnight. Being a vegetarian, I was on the hot search." The title was Lu de Bowtie's Mysterious Boyfriend. The two of them are inseparable and have an ambiguous relationship. The accompanying picture was the moment Lu Shuyao and I stepped into the VIP area together. The angle and expression made it seem like Lu Shuyao and I were unusually close. Thinking about her, Lu Shuyao, in the entertainment industry for so many years, the root positive red has never had a scandal. For a moment I felt a bit guilty and called her in a panic. "Shuyao, do you have a way to take down that boring hot search? I'm really sorry. I've caused you trouble." Lu Shuyao just yawned and said nonchalantly. "Who told you to sneak away last night?" It dawned on me. You planned this news. Thinking about it, what kind of person is Lu Shuyao? It was easy for her to stop a gossip. "Aren't you getting a divorce? What are you afraid of?" What does this have to do with my divorce? I don't want to get into the muddy waters of the entertainment industry. You know, getting involved with Lu Shuyao would cause more of a stir than exposing that it's Song Sophie's husband. After all, Lu Shuyao's curiosity is more than 10 Song Sophie can match. It's good that Lu Shuyao still has a bit of conscience. And didn't he let me expose? Positively, just looking at the biased remarks of the fans under the hot search, I was scared into a cold sweat. That night, Song Sophie contacted me with an unfamiliar number. She asked me to meet. I initially did not agree, but she said she wanted to talk to me about divorce-related matters. I naturally agreed. We are early in the morning, about in a hidden cafe. Song Sophie fully armed, mask, sunglasses, baseball cap, a lot. Even I almost did not recognize her. I opened the door and said, "What day to go to the courthouse to do the formalities?" Song Sophie, however, fiddled with her coffee with a spoon. I didn't agree to divorce. 10 I got angry. Song Sophie, are you playing with me? She snorted coldly. Goo also. Shouldn't you explain your relationship with Lu Shuyao to me first? I froze, listening to her questioning tone. It was like I had done something wrong to her. I found it funny. Song Sophie, you cheated on your own and now you want to be the first to complain. Want to press the same charge on me. Hubby, I don't mean this. Hesitating for a moment, Song Sophie softly said, I just didn't think that you would know Lu Shuyao. I raised my eyebrows. So what? Can you introduce me and Lu Shuyao to each other? Song Sophie's face was full of anticipation. If she can be the producer of my new album, I'll agree to whatever you want. So it's here waiting for me. Who in the entertainment circle didn't know that even an 18th line pace curiosity could be instantly promoted to the first line as long as Lu Shuyao made a move. This abacus beat of hers is crashing into my face. Song Sophie, do you think I'll still believe you? Yesterday, you said you'd agree to a divorce as long as I didn't break up our relationship. And now you're threatening me with Lu Shuyao. Do you take me for a fool? Song Sophie was also anxious. Hubby, why don't you understand? I like you and don't want to divorce you. I just want to succeed too much. I'm also doing this to make your life better. For me, that's quite a big statement on her part. Yeah, you're doing it for my own good. So you're saying in public that I'm a fan who's here to cause trouble, knowing that we won't be able to talk tonight. I get up to leave, but Song Sophie pulls me back. Hubby, I couldn't help myself there. Can't you just sympathize with me? Song Sophie, you want to fire. Rely on yourself. Don't let me look down on you. I fiercely shook off her hand that had done her nails. If you don't agree to divorce, I'll sue. Dropping the harsh words, I left the cafe without looking back. 11 early the next morning, I was still in a daze when I received a call from a friend. Gaia, hurry up and check the hot search. I was instantly awakened and opened my phone with slightly swollen eyes. I didn't realize that I was being stalked by paparazzi last night when I met up with Song Sophie at the cafe. I wasn't so lucky this time. The side face, the front face, all were taken clearly. Even more startling than the photos were the gossip slogans. Showbiz love triangle. Lu Shuyao's love rival is actually Song Sophie, the newest diva in the singing world. My head went spinning. Underneath the gossip were all offensive remarks about me. This guy is the one who was with Lu Shuyao at the awards ceremony. 2 days ago, he was still having an affair with Lu Shuyao. But last night he secretly dated Song Sophie. This is so hateful. I've only just fallen for Song Sophie and she's about to collapse the room. Song Sophie can steal a man from Lu de Beauty. Song Sophie's got it made. This man is a soft rice man. He's a disgrace to our men. Let's flesh him out. A man who has 2 lovers is no good. Weibo's major platforms were full of phrases about the 3 of us. And Song Sophie also jumped into the top 5 hot search actresses overnight. But this hot search was taken down that afternoon. The only person who could bring down the hot search so quickly could be Lu Shuyao. Lu Shuyao had retreated to the background this year, but her popularity had always been high, hovering in the top 3 of high-gloss artists all year round. The behavior of rubbing off on people in the entertainment circle was commonplace. But there are very few people who know about my relationship with Lu Shuyao. To be able to involve the fact that Song Sophie and I met up with Lu Shuyao, I'm afraid it was premeditated. I quickly thought that Song Sophie was her. She used me to pull Lu Shuyao down. Borrowing Lu Shuyao's fame allowed herself to take advantage of the fire. 12 The more I thought about it, the more irritated I became. Inquiring that Song Sophie was shooting a music video in the studio today, I directly drove over. Outside the studio's lounge, I overheard Song Sophie and Liam arguing. "Didn't you promise ID code Gaia? Why did you expose him?" Song Sophie's voice was laced with anger. Liam's tone was not good either. "Don't you get a bargain? Without my idea, can you explode in popularity just because of a piece of gossip? Without me, can you receive so many endorsements and announcements a day? Your husband obviously knows Lu Shuyao, but refused to help you, and now that I've helped you, you're still giving me the cold shoulder." I probably heard the cause and effect. It turned out that last night's rendezvous was intentionally arranged by them. If I hadn't agreed to help Song Sophie pull strings, they would have already found a way back and dug a trap for me. How am I within their calculations? I thought Song Sophie still had at least a tiny bit of guilt towards me, which is why she blamed Liam for not exposing me. But I didn't expect that in the next second, Song Sophie would jump into Liam's arms and explain in a low voice. "Honey, how could I throw you a look? I didn't want Gaia to be exposed because I was worried that someone would follow the trail and find out about my relationship with him." Liam snorted coldly. "Don't think I don't know. Your husband even mentioned divorce to you. It's you who didn't agree. Let me ask you, do you like me or your husband?" Song Sophie pretended to be angry. "What, my husband? You are my husband. How much I love you. It's not like you don't know. I'm just afraid that he'll Leonize me or get back at me in case I make some kind of divorce scandal." I couldn't listen any longer and kicked open the door to the lounge. Song Sophie was kissing Liam, and when she saw that it was me, she was so scared that she immediately pushed her away. Liam didn't stand still, and fell to the ground in a mess. 13 I went up to her and angrily rebuked her. "Song Sophie, I'm so blind that I've fallen for you before. Even if I found out that Song Sophie had cheated on me and was disillusioned with her, I didn't think about ruining her future. I just wanted everyone to get together and go their separate ways in the future. But I did not expect her to be shameless to this extent." Seeing me leave the lounge angrily, Song Sophie glanced back at Liam, who was still sitting on the floor cursing, and hesitated before chasing after me. She pulled me down with a tense expression. "Hubby, what do you want to do? You mind me?" I shook her off, but she blocked my way. "Don't be impulsive." Song Sophie was anxious. "If you ruin me, you won't be able to get any good fruit yourself. I'm no longer that little netizen who plays and sings on the side of the road without being asked." Song Sophie's expression was harsh. "With my ability, I'll soon become a chart topper. I just signed a tens of millions of dollars of endorsements today. Aren't you happy for me? I will compensate you in the future." "Compensation? I don't care." I glared at her. Your ability to hook up with men. When I recommended you for the talent show, you misplayed in the first round. If it wasn't for me finding connections, could you have advanced? And today, you relied on trickery, borrowing Lu Shuyao's fame to create a scandal in exchange for an endorsement contract. What kind of ability is that? Song Sophie's face went white as I counted her down, gritting her teeth, unable to say a word. "There's no happiness or future to speak of until you get entangled with a hypocritical woman like you." I ran out of the studio, only to be surrounded by a group of reporters and fans guarding the outside. Obviously there was no one at the door when I came over a while ago, but now they suddenly poured out. Probably because someone was afraid that the world was not in chaos and deliberately called them here. 14 A microphone was close to disliking my mouth. This gentleman. What is your relationship with Sophie Song? You drank coffee together late at night and look very familiar. Can you tell us your story? You were also the one who was with Lu Shuyao that day, weren't you? Lu Shuyao has entered the entertainment industry for so many years and has never had a scandal. We are very curious about your relationship with Lu Shuyao. Those crazy fans also had an expression that they couldn't wait to eat me alive. I pursed my lips and didn't reply, but my residual light caught a glimpse of Song Sophie, who was hiding behind the door. She cowered there, with absolutely no intention of stepping in to relieve herself for me. A reporter spotted her and immediately rushed over to block her. Miss Song, who is this gentleman to you? Have you been together from last night until now? Is he your out-of-circle boyfriend? Song Sophie's eyes were a little flustered, and her face turned ugly. Squeaking for half a day before speaking. I don't know him well. He's just a fan of mine. Last night he recognized me in the cafe and asked me for an autograph. I don't know where he found out that I was filming a music video here. He ran here on his own. I didn't know about it. In a few simple sentences, she brushed herself off. I, on the other hand, became a target. The group of fans even made a move on me. Pushing and dragging. You're stalking our Sophie, pervert guy. How dare you harass a popular actress when you look like a man? Entangling with my two goddesses. I'm going to show you some color today. Someone poured the drink in his hand onto me in a smooth manner, woefully. And Song Sophie was on the sidelines the whole time with cold eyes next to her, not caring about anything. In the midst of the noise, I heard someone call out Lu Shuyao. Before I could see the person, I was held by a warm and soft hand. 15 All the boys and girls present boiled over. Lu Shuyao. It's Lu Shuyao. She's so beautiful. It's Honored One. Oh my god. He's even more beautiful than what we saw in the video. Yeah. Don't block my view of the goddess. All of you get out of the way. In the crowded crowd, Lu Shuyao held my hand tightly, with no intention of letting go. He's the one I like. Do you guys think that with me pursuing him, he would still look at other girls? Lu Shuyao's two simple sentences instantly caused the scene to explode. And the few reporters who were still surrounding Song Sophie at the beginning all flocked this way. Miss Lu, how long have you been dating this gentleman? Not dating. Currently it's my one-sided crush on him. Miss Lu, over the years you've never had any male celebrities around you. Is it because of this gentleman? Well, I'm very exclusive. Her answer caused a scream from the fans, and my eardrums almost shattered. They were still blah 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 asking a bunch of questions, but Lu Shuyao was already pulling me into her nanny car. I finally let go of her hand, only to realize that my own palms were covered in sweat. I awkwardly said, "Hey, aren't you afraid of taking off your powder if you tell this kind of lie?" Lu Shuyao skimmed her head. Doesn't matter. Rather, it's you, whose vision has always been so poor. I was powerless to retort. I was brought to Lu Shuyao's apartment, and she pushed me into the bathroom. Wash up. I looked at myself in the mirror. I was indeed wretched and disheveled. After today's mess, I don't know what kind of storm the entertainment industry will stir up tomorrow. But for me, the matter of divorcing Song Sophie can't be delayed. After taking a shower, I was naked, rubbing my hair with a towel while walking out of the water vapor-heavy bathroom. Unexpectedly my feet slipped, and when I saw that I was going to have a close contact with the floor, I instinctively reacted by pulling the person next to me. But Lu Shuyao is after all a girl. Where can I stand this 5'8" boy yanked hard? The result was that Lu Shuyao was pounced on by me, and the two of us fell to the floor together in a sorry state. 16 I was in a state of embarrassment and immediately checked if she had fallen anywhere, only to see her face blush with shame as she gritted her teeth and asked, Gaia, where are you touching? It was only then that I realized that my hand was resting on her full breasts. When I pondered for a few seconds and reacted, my cheeks were like fire, and I popped up violently like a spring had been installed. The air around this moment was filled with unspeakable embarrassment and weirdness. Lu Shuyao sat up, her face as red as a Fuji apple. She had been a cool beauty since she was a child, and since kindergarten, there were a lot of boys following her around. And I, as her only good friend, was naturally proud as hell. I had a crush on her when I was in the throes of love. After all, she was so beautiful and nice. But it is because she is too perfect, too good. I try hard to cut off their own bad thoughts. Fear that because of their own like to let her disgust me, alienate me, and finally even friends do not have to do. Because of the beautiful. From childhood to the pursuit of her boys countless, but there is no one she looked at the eye. I often wondered exactly how good boys can get into the eyes of Lu Shuyao. I remembered the senior year I was in the basketball court because of an accident fracture. Lu Shuyao directly absent from class to run to the hospital to take care of me. Seeing my foot wrapped in a cast and my face pale with pain, she cried her eyes out. After that, as long as I went to the court, or to gym class, she would tirelessly remind me to pay attention to safety. Even if I occasionally laughed at her mother-in-law like a little daughter-in-law. There is something in my heart that is rapidly growing. I walked towards Lu Shuyao, slowly, but with a firm pace. She hung her head, retreated 2 steps, and dropped onto the sofa. I moved closer to her and bent down, looking down on her from above. Her long hair was like seaweed, and her small, delicate face was exceptionally beautiful even without makeup. I couldn't help but get close to her. She had her eyes downcast, her thick and long eyelashes covering the emotions in her eyes. At this moment our distance is so close that I can feel her sweet and sharp breath brush against my lips, bringing a burst of subtle shivers. I had to admit that no man could fail to be moved by Lu Shuyao. My eyes landed on her slightly bitten lower lip, the pink color of her lips bright and tender. I couldn't control the acceleration of my heartbeat, and breathing became a little difficult. 17 Gu also. I didn't lie today. Lu Shuyao suddenly opened her mouth, and there seemed to be a kind of panic in her eyes that she was going out of her way. My mind was still blank, and I could only hear my heart beating faster and faster. Just as I was staring at her lips and couldn't help but want to get closer, her cell phone rang. Lu Shuyao violently pushed me away, her eyes flashing, and ran to the side to answer the phone. I also found my senses and patted my chest, but my heart was still thumping. Soon she hung up the phone and said to me in her usual tone, "Uncle came over to pick you up." Oh, our families had always been close, and about the time I was in the shower she told my dad what had happened today. Soon my dad came over and he thanked Lu Shuyao before leading me away. "Tomorrow you go and divorce Song Sophie," my dad ordered with a dark face. I sighed. I want to. Isn't this Song Sophie's side refusing to relent? I told you not to be so hot-headed, but you went ahead and got a license with her without our elders' knowledge. My dad is getting more and more angry. Now you know you're wrong. No. My father's face only eased some. He added, "Tomorrow I go to find Song Sophie. Forgive her, also dare not continue to pester you." I thought about it. "Dad, you don't need to step in. I can do it myself." My dad looked at me skeptically. "Really? Don't worry. I can handle it myself." That night, I pulled Song Sophie back from the blacklist. I messaged her and asked her to go with me tomorrow to do the divorce paperwork. She was up to her old tricks again, pampering and ingratiating herself with flowery words. This time I didn't give her any more face and just sent the video I had been keeping in my hand of him cheating with Liam. If you don't agree to divorce, then tomorrow this video will appear on all the major platforms. I'm not afraid of losing face. You hide your marriage and cheat on your wife. I'd like to see how tolerant this class of netizens is. 18 The next day. I waited for Sophie Song in the courthouse. She was still wrapped up tightly, with the look of a big-name actress. Before signing, she didn't forget to give me a PUA. Divorce. The loss is yours. I now this status. Want what? No. I can't help it if you don't know how to cherish it. Don't say I'm cruel. Don't lick your face and come back to me to get back together in the future. I was amused by his words. Song Sophie, you really think you can have unlimited prosperity? How fast the entertainment industry is renewed. It seems like you still don't understand. Song Sophie, however, had a smug look on her face. I don't need you to worry about my future. In a short while, they'll definitely be even more popular than Lu Shuyao. I'm too lazy to talk nonsense with her. She can be as smug as she likes. I just want to get rid of her. We didn't have any financial disputes, and the divorce proceedings went smoothly. Coming out of the courthouse, Song Sophie mocked. Gu also. I think you're still too naive. What kind of person is Lu Shuyao? Would she want you? A divorced man? Don't you dream. At most, she'll treat you like a gold digger for a few days. Then she'll kick your ass. As we spoke, Liam came to pick her up in his sports car, wearing exaggerated sunglasses and dressing himself up in a fashionable way. He teased me. You lose. Sophie's mine. I pulled the corner of my mouth. Thank you for helping me recycle the trash. Liam thought how sad I would be if I left Sophie Song, but I was so relaxed. Liam said, you're just trying to be brave. I heard you didn't even have a job in the past 6 months. A man like you. If you leave Sophie, you're nothing. You're nothing without Sophie. You just let them bully you. A low, lingering voice interrupted Liam's smug laughter. Surprisingly, it's my dad and Lu Shuyao. This time there's a good show to watch. 19 Seeing my dad. Liam immediately removed his sunglasses and piled on a smile. Gu Dong. What a coincidence to run into you here. My name is Liam. I'm an artist under our company. Song Sophie also immediately introduced herself. Hello Gu Dong. I'm Song Sophie. They both reached out their hands to shake my dad's hand, but my dad turned a blind eye and walked directly to my side. You've known me to sing the opposite since you were a kid. You can stand being counted out by them like this. My dad reprimanded. I sighed. Dad. The dog bit me. Do I have to bite back? Song Sophie and Liam were completely confused. Dad. My dad sneered and looked at the two of them with contempt. What? You guys don't know that Gu is also my only real son? Song Sophie reacted and hurriedly nodded her head like a lapdog. Dad. Isn't this a coincidence? It turns out to be a family. Don't you call it nonsense. My son no longer has any relationship with you. Song Sophie looked at me and then at my dad, completely flustered. Lu Shuyao couldn't help but laugh out loud. I heard that you guys want to find Lyric Muse to write lyrics for the new album. Liam opened his mouth with difficulty, his voice trembling a little. Yes. MS. Lu, you also know that Lyric Muse is so mysterious, and it's quite difficult to get in touch with her. That's of course. When Lu Shuyao burst into flames with a song, in addition to her face value and voice, that song with lyrics by Lyric Muse also swept all the major awards that year. Lyric Muse is a well-known lyricist, and his lyrics are hard to find for thousands of dollars. Lyric Muse is a famous lyricist and his lyrics are hard to come by. Last year, Sophie Song's breakthrough into the entertainment industry was also due to Lyric Muse's lyrics. Only Lyric Muse has never shown her face in front of the public, and rumor has it that she is a mysterious, low-key, high-strung beauty. I pursed my lips and couldn't help but laugh. Liam looked at my dad and then at Song Sophie, immediately drawing a clear line with Song Sophie. Gu Dong. Mr. Lu. In fact, Song Sophie and I are not very familiar. Song Sophie stared wide-eyed and looked at Liam incredulously. Liam smiled curtly. Mr. Lu, you see, Can you do me a favor and let Lyric Muse write a song for me? 20 Lu Shuyao pulled me to his side as he did so. It doesn't need to be so troublesome. Liam revealed an expectant expression. Lu Shuyao raised an eyebrow. Lyric Muse is right here. If he's willing to write a song for you, ask yourself. Looking at my expression of disgust plus obscurity, Liam was completely dumbfounded. What? How is that possible? Liam's face was full of disbelief. Isn't Lyric Muse a girl? How could it be him? Who told you Lyric Muse is a girl? Song Sophie seemed to have thought of something as she rushed over and excitedly took my hand. Hubby, you're actually Lyric Muse. No wonder you could get Lyric Muse's song for me back then. Why didn't I think of that? She was almost on the verge of crying. Hubby, you've been silently helping me all along and I didn't even realize it. I'm so damned. Before I could shake her off, Lu Shuyao had already yanked me back to her side. Lu Shuyao's face was full of dislike undisguised. You're both divorced. Don't call me husband. It was the first time I saw Lu Shuyao get so angry. In the anger, there was also a vague hint of jealousy. The following 2 days I temporarily moved back home and was lectured by my dad for many days in a row. The house where I live with Song Sophie is my real estate, but that one house I don't intend to want anymore. Directly listed on the internet, and soon found a seller. Song Sophie was forced to move out, and during these days, she came to me every day, pleading for my forgiveness. I directly regarded her as heir, if she pestered her tightly. I let the security guards drive her away. Because of offending the big boss of the entertainment company, my dad, and Lu Shuyao. Song Sophie was quickly blacklisted, and it didn't take long for the video of her arguing with Liam on the street to come out. Not only did she not care about her image and cursed at Liam, she also slapped the other person with her hands. Almost overnight, Sophie Song became a celebrity to be avoided by everyone. 21 After the 1-month cooling-off period, I successfully obtained a divorce certificate. Lu Shuyao accompanied me that day. And Song Sophie seemed to want to say something else to me, but after being glared at by Lu Shuyao, she didn't dare to say anything more. Because of what Lu Shuyao said to the reporters last time, her hotness never decreased, and most of her fans supported her to bravely pursue the one she loves. On the way back, I couldn't help but ask Lu Shuyao, back then, why did you suddenly agree to my dad signing into the entertainment industry? In my impression, Lu Shuyao has always been a very low-key person. She, like me, does not even aspire to the showbiz industry. Lu Shuyao said. Because someone said that he wanted the words he wrote to be heard and liked by everyone. I froze for a long time before responding. I've loved composing lyrics since I was a kid, and I once wrote lyrics for some singers under a pseudonym through my dad's connections. When I graduated from high school, I wrote a song that I was particularly happy with, but I had been struggling to find a suitable singer. At that time, my dad suddenly asked for my lyrics, and immediately afterward, Lu Shuyao used the song to debut, becoming famous overnight. Sigh a glimpse under the moon. In exchange for this life of love and hate, love deep into the bone into the marrow, and how to forget. Embrace enthusiasm, melt ice and snow. Love long coexist between the years. The rest of the life roaming. This intention is unceasingly. Lu Shuyao glanced at me, her eyes slightly moist. I thought I did not say. You will one day understand my heart. I know you do not like to enter the entertainment industry, so I also chose to withdraw to do a behind-the-scenes music producers. As a result, you know nothing about my heart. Saying that, Lu Shuyao's face reddened. Together with the redness, there were also my ears. We were childhood sweethearts and have known each other for many years. And in my heart, Lu Shuyao has always been a queenly and unattainable existence. I never imagined that she would fall head over heels in love with me. 22 Just at the moment when my heart was drumming, Lu Shuyao suddenly raised the corners of her mouth and smiled. Luckily, from today onwards you're single again. Her smile was bright. I can now like you openly and honestly. 23 half a year had passed. And Liam's value was in tatters due to the scandals. And the former first-tier actor was reduced to a situation where no one asked for his services. As for Song Sophie, it was as if her name had been completely swallowed up by the waves of the entertainment industry, becoming a passing cloud. The showbiz world is a glittering stage that never skimps on eliminating those who pin their hopes on the sidewalks. Only self-improvement and hard-working souls can stand firm here. As the New Year's Eve was approaching, Lu Shuyao and I were roaming around the busy streets. On the street corner, I saw an acquaintance I hadn't seen for a long time. It was Sophie Song, who was dressed thinly in winter, dancing unashamedly on the street in a suggestive dance, with a cash code printed on her bare back, yelling at passers-by to give her a reward from time to time. But the number of people who stopped for her was very few. I was a bit emotional for a while. Lu Shuyao could see my thoughts. She asked, "Want to go over and say hello?" I shook my head. I don't miss her. It's all her own choice to come to this point. Lu Shuyao laughed, standing on her tiptoes to drop a kiss on my cheek. I laughed and hugged her tightly, and reminded in a low voice, "Hey, this is on the street. Aren't you afraid that you'll be on the hot search again tomorrow?" Lu Shuyao looked indifferent. "It's not like it's a secret that you're my boyfriend anyway. Didn't you see my Weibo comment section? They're all asking when we're getting married." I dropped a kiss on her forehead and asked softly, "Then when will you promise to be my missus?" Goo. Lu Shuyao avoids my hot gaze and pretends to be a question. "That depends on your performance." Hearing that, I pulled her hand over and clasped my fingers together. Go home." She was puzzled. "Didn't we say we still have to go over to West Street to shop?" I leaned over and whispered in her ear, "Can't wait to get home and behave." The crowd around us was crowded, and the setting sun's afterglow spilled over us, warming us up. My heart surged with an unprecedented stability and happiness. At this moment I knew that the happy story belonging to Lu Shuyao and I had already drawn to a close. End.